What's always fun at parties but should never be inhaled under high pressure because it could enter the bloodstream? Helium. Welcome to Monkey Boys Toys. And this is the sofa. Thanks for joining me again. Here's a collection of short stories by Angela Carter to look at. And a mustard-coloured skateboard shoe, or sneaker. Now, while this is primarily a show and tell channel, I thought that this week I would stray from my lane and stumble awkwardly through a flimsy opinion piece, prompted by the recent announcement of an upcoming toy line mashup that may or may not be of interest to you. So let me remove the collection of short stories by Angela Carter and the mustard-coloured skateboard shoe or sneaker, and we can take a steep dive into a shallow subject and try not to bang our heads on the bottom. Okay, so for many years now, we've been pleased to receive many IP crossovers, some of which have been quite interesting, in my opinion, such as the Ghostbusters TMNT mashup and the Ghostbusters Transformers crossovers, which were very cool, particularly the Ecto Prime, and of course the long-awaited Ghostbusting My Little Pony. Yeah. Anyway, Ghostbusters is not the only license being snagged for these crossovers. It seems that Masters of the Universe is now elbowing its way to the front in a complicated and somewhat confusing manner. In recent years, we've had the reasonably consistent, if bland, Masters of the WWE Universe, and more recently, the hot mess of the Turtles of Grayskull line, some of which have been okay, others have been god-awful plastic vomit. And the trend continues this summer when Mattel will be asking us to throw money into another bottomless pit with the introduction of a MOTU and Thundercats mashup, which, they hope, will stand a better chance of avoiding the clearance bins. Now, the line will be presented in the style of the MOTU Origins figures, with 16 points of articulation, and will presumably be sort of modular for those of us who are 6 years old. Incidentally, these modular swappable limb designs are not produced with customization in mind. The toy companies do not care about you. They are produced this way because they're quicker and therefore cheaper to assemble during manufacture. The strategy is financial and has nothing to do with play or display options. This spin is a convenient deception. Anyway, let's have a look at this next brilliant ploy to separate you from your cash using the crowbar of nostalgia.
Cynicism.
Okay, so the Thundercats of the Universe, or whatever, is brought to us by Mattel, with the first wave shipping in about April, so most of us that aren't shills can probably expect to receive them in the fall. The standard figures are expected to retail at $19.99 US, which is about 16 quid, and the deluxe figure will retail at $29.99, which is roughly 24 quid. Here's a look at Wave 1, not bad as it goes, nice and colourful. There are 3 good guys, and I suppose the deluxe Skeletor and Mumra figure counts as 2 characters, although of course if you'd like to display both versions you'll have to buy 2. Here's Chitara, Lion-O and Battle Cat Man. More on those coming up later. So first let's have a look at the villain or villains of the wave. Here's Skell-Ra. I would have gone for Mummitor. Shown here wearing the Skeletor accessories and displaying the purple side of the reversible wing-like cape. To the left we can see the Mumra accessories. Of course the Sword of Plundar, the worst sword design ever. We have Mumra's skirt providing airflow to his bollocks. And the seemingly transparent bandages, or semi-transparent, which look pretty cool. Here's a closer look at Skell-Ra's appearance. I don't really like the horns, and they seem like an unnecessary carryover from Skelly God. The face sculpt is okay, eyes are a bit shit. Here's the Mumra version, this time showing the red side of the cape, but this is basically just a Mumra figure. It does look pretty good. Here are the Skeletor parts off to the right. We have the harness, the furry loincloth, and of course Skeletor's head. A closer look now at Mumra. Not bad on the whole, although it must be said that his mouth doesn't look great. Is anyone else reminded of this disaster? Anyway, on to Lion-O. Some bizarre choices here, but overall quite a good representation. He comes with a few accessories, which we'll look at in a moment. I don't know why he has armour on one shoulder. It's maybe a nod to the vintage Man-at-Arms figure. Don't know. The only real element of MOTU in this design seems to be his furry groin rag. The alternate hairpiece looks a bit shit. He comes with a full Sword of Omens, but sadly not a short version, which could be stored in the gauntlet. Here is that. We get a belt, which looks very nice, and bizarrely we also have alternate lower legs, which seem unnecessary and possibly an afterthought, perhaps to raise the piece count and increase perceived value, but
Shin options.
there's a nice big chest emblem, a decent hair sculpt. Can anyone tell me why he has 3 dots in the middle of his forehead? Perhaps he's about to be splattered by the predator. So, on to Cheetara. I'm not a fan of her colour scheme, and the corset she's wearing doesn't really do much to make the figure pop. Again, accessories are a bit hit and miss. She of course comes with her staff, which is very nice.
It looks a bit short.
And there's also a hairpiece alternate there, which is yeah, whatever. Nice forearm storage for the included short version of her staff. I like that. And again, we have an alternate pair of shins, because I don't know why. The face sculpt is pretty good, the hair is okay, but I do think the hairline could look odd if the hairpiece isn't an exact fit, so hopefully no quality control issues there. And finally, Battle Cat Man, an appropriate name, I suppose. Nice colour scheme, faithful to the character. The only Thundercats reference here being the symbol on a classic MOTU style chest harness. He comes only with a pair of removable claw weapons, which make no sense because cats have 5 claws on their hands, but okay. Now I really like the head sculpt. I think he looks amazing, although I would suggest his expression looks more like a pissed off cringer rather than a ferocious battle cat. Anyway, there's a quick look at the upcoming MOTU Thundercats crossover. What did you think of the figures and the concept in general? Are they a hit or are they shit? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and do share the video with any other helium you may know. But for now, I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you next time. Bye!
I am an appetite.